It's not because of the snow. A lot of people believe that, oh, we get snow here in the Northeast, or that's the reason why cars rust, and down south they don't get snow, that's why it doesn't rust. Snow is not, it can snow year round and the vehicles wouldn't rust. Hey guys, Salih from Shahani Motors. Today we're going to be talking about, in my 15 years as an automotive technician, one of the major reasons that vehicles are taken off the road, are junked, are deemed unsafe for the road, unfit for the road, and that's going to be structural damage and rust. Rust is the number one thing that we see in cars that we have to tell the customer, hey, listen, the car is just getting too rusty now. It's just not worth it. Anything else is fixable. You can change engines, you can change transmissions, you could change anything else. But when the vehicle, either if it's a unibody vehicle or if it's a frame vehicle, and they get rotted out, sometimes it's just not worth the to repair the vehicle, and we have to let the customer know. So today we're going to be talking about living in the Northeast, some of the places that are pretty good for vehicles that they have a little bit less rust, and then we're going to be talking about some of the places you want to be a little bit careful with when buying vehicles. Not to say that you can't buy vehicles from there, you just have to take a closer look at them and have your technician or yourself look at the vehicle and do a proper inspection on the vehicle before you buy it. So starting off, why do vehicles rust? And it's not because of the snow. A lot of people believe that, oh, we get snow here in the Northeast, or that's the reason why cars rust, and down south they don't get snow, that's why it doesn't rust. Snow is not, it can snow year round and the vehicles wouldn't rust. The reason that vehicles rust so rapidly up here is because in order to combat the snow and the ice on the roads, we have to put down salt. The roads have salt, and they're salted to dry, to melt the ice. Now there's different types of salt that different states and municipalities use, and that's going to make the difference with how, in our research, how much the vehicle rusts, because you can buy vehicles from different states that have different levels of rust, even in within the states in different areas that rust differently. Starting off, majority of the Northeast, they use what's called sodium chloride, which is basically it's almost the same as your table salt that you have at your house. This is what's used to salt the roads in the winter time. So there's differences. Few places use different variations. Now what we found is, in the worst areas, what they use is, not only do they use either it'd be sodium chloride, it'll be calcium chloride, it'll be magnesium chloride, one of those three, but they'll also add a liquid mixture to help melt the ice at lower temperatures. And that liquid mixture is what really accelerates the rust, in our opinion. Number one place that you want to be careful with when you're buying a vehicle, we're going to say, is going to be Vermont. Now, these can go back and forth a little bit, but Vermont vehicles in general are usually very, very rusty. I mean, yesterday I was just looking at a truck. It was a 2015, and even with the 15, it had decent miles on it, and the rockers were already starting to rust out. Undercarriage had a significant amount of rust for a 7-year-old vehicle. So Vermont vehicles, you got to be really careful with. I'm gonna say number two is going to be Western New York. Now, anything west from us, so we're in central New York, we're in upstate New York, you would say Capital District. Anything west of Utica, honestly, is cause for concern. You have to be careful with those vehicles. Before I would go to the auction in Syracuse, and those vehicles were they're far more rusted than vehicles that we were getting here in the Capital District. So you have to be careful with those vehicles. Honestly, it seems that as the further west you go, the more rusty the cars are. I mean, Buffalo cars are even worse than the cars that are in Utica or Syracuse and Rochester. But in general, out west that way, you got to be very careful when you're buying vehicles there. The third place that we're going to be talking about is, unfortunately, Capital District, upstate New York. And this can be up from Capital District to north. Honestly, the further north you go, the worse that it gets, because they get more snow, and they have to put down more salt, and they have to put the liquid mixture with the salt. So I'm just going to put this as upstate New York. So third is going to be upstate New York. You got to be very careful. The cars here are very rusty. Now, when we put a car on a lift, just me been doing it for so long, we can automatically tell that, hey, this vehicle is not from here, or this vehicle is from here, or we can kind of get an idea just by looking at it, that where the vehicle spent most of its life, just by seeing how rusty the vehicle is underneath. So then these are the few places you want to watch out for. Now I'm going to talk about the best places in the Northeast. If you're looking for a vehicle, you can get these. It's going to be east is a little bit north. I would say northeast, East Coast, kind of same thing. So number one place that we found that's close to here that you can get really clean vehicles is going to be Maryland, DC, Maryland area. Cars are very clean. They seem to I'm sure it snows a little bit less than it does here, and the road salt that they put is straight sodium chloride, so it's not as bad as the salt that they're putting here in the northern areas. Number two, I'm gonna say, is Rhode Island. Rhode Island, from what I looked up in my research, Rhode Island puts at a 1-to-1 ratio with sand and rock salt. So they don't put straight salt like most places. They put half salt and half road, just regular sand. The sand just helps with traction, doesn't melt the snow or nothing. The little bit of salt melts the snow, so it's a good combination. And we see the vehicles that come from Rhode Island are very good. For the Northeast, are extremely nice. Honestly, they're very, very good condition underneath. The undercarriages are great. I have no problem buying vehicles from Rhode Island. Number three is going to be Connecticut. Now, it may vary, from place to place, but we see that vehicles that come from Connecticut are usually far more clean than cars that we have locally. Connecticut vehicles are usually very, very clean underneath. There's a few places that, have their, of course, but for the far majority, Connecticut cars are pretty good. Number four, we're gonna put New Jersey. Now this may be, like southern Jersey towards, Pennsylvania, but Jersey cars are, very clean. I've had very good luck buying cars from Jersey, rust-wise. Not talking about anything else. Rust-wise, the cars, the undercarriages are pretty good condition. The cars that come from New Jersey. Last but not least, I'm gonna say southern Pennsylvania, but not northern Pennsylvania, because those cars are just as bad, if not worse, than vehicles here. But southern Pennsylvania towards let's say Philadelphia, that area, those areas, you get some really clean. You can get some really clean vehicles from over there. So PA does get an honorable mention at the end. So these are a few places that we either look for cars, or we try to avoid buying cars, or we just have to look into it more. As always, guys, listen, you have to check the vehicle. If you're buying a vehicle, have your technician look at the vehicle if you don't feel comfortable looking at it yourself. Undercarriage rust is the major thing. Structural damage, frames, all of these things are going to be the most costly thing to you if they're bad underneath. Sometimes it's not even repairable. If it's unibody, most of the time, we don't even repair that. We don't recommend repairing that. So when you're buying a vehicle, it's really important that you either check it out yourself, and if you're not comfortable, bring it to a certified shop, certified technician who can give you an honest opinion of the vehicle, take a look at it underneath, and tell you what's all the major problems with it. Because listen, here's the thing: you can get a car from Texas, you can get a car from Florida, and the car can still have, it could have gone through a flood, it could have gone through different things. So it's not necessary that just because the car is coming from a place that's generally rust-free, that the vehicle itself is going to be rust-free. So you want to make sure that you get that checked out. All right, guys, let me know if this video was helpful for you guys, and let me know if where do you guys like to get your vehicles? Where's some places that you found that that you've had good luck with? One of my personal trucks, I got it from Florida just because I just wanted it to be completely rust free. I didn't want to deal with any rust at all. So that one I got from Florida, and then when we got the vehicle here, we do. Now we're starting to offer an oil-based undercoating, which is by far the only way to undercoat. I've been doing undercoating for many years, and the other undercoating we did for years, the hard rubberized undercoating, but I was not satisfied with the results, to be honest. And now we're onto this new product, which I am really liking the results that I'm seeing from it. We're going to be offering it soon. We're doing personal testing right now on some of our personal vehicles, making sure it withstands the test of time, and then we will be offering this come the fall. So if you guys are interested in getting your vehicle undercoated, it is the most important thing here, to protect the undercarriage of your vehicle, so that the vehicle can last you a long time, and you don't have the underneath falling apart like most of the vehicles here. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. We will be offering that in the fall. For now, that's all that I have for you. Give us a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. And till next time, peace.